and feeling great. Om Shanti and welcome to Light of Knowledge. We all have special relationships in our lives. But one special bond with our Creator is something that we always are in search of. Let's discover this beautiful relationship with God in our conversation with Sister Shreya from the Brahma Kumaris. Welcome to the show, Sister.
Thank you. Om Shanti.
Sister, in our previous episode, we spoke about God and us having a very beautiful relationship, that of being a parent and a child. And I was wondering, is it just a parent-child relationship that is there between God and us? Or are there many other relationships that we can form with God?
God is this seed, the eternal source, the being which is complete. And I think you can have any relationship that you want with God. Just not father, but even a mother. If you connect with God as a mother, you will feel nourished. You know, the role of the mother is to just give, and give. One relationship that we have in life, that bond with mother, because mother is also quite unconditionally giving. And that is God, like a mother. Another relationship which is very beautiful with God is, I think a lot of us, when we sometimes are looking for God, we're also hurting a little. Because we do remember God, we know that He can heal us. He has that healing power. You know, just like when you go to a doctor because you are hurting and he gives you that treatment, if you follow, you kind of heal yourself. That is also another thing, that when you spend a lot of time with God in His energy, you take that love. And the power of love heals you. Actually, you are healing yourself, but that power of love, I think, is very, very, very powerful, that helps you to heal yourself, to let go. We've been holding so much. We become very, very sensitive. So we get hurt easily. We hold on to so much. We're not able to forgive people. We're not able to forget things. And when we take that love from God, I think the first thing that happens is we're able to heal ourselves. And when we are healed, we're able to let go. I think by having relationship with God, all these relationships automatically start to improve. That's another thing. That's another proof that you're having a very strong bond with God, because then in all your other relationships, you're not expecting or taking. Rather, you start giving. And even before you're giving, you need to kind of, heal. Put a full stop, let go, forget. So that's another very beautiful relationship that you can have with God.
So you spoke about parent, you spoke about being a doctor. What else? Can we have God as a mentor, as a coach?
Yeah, as a guide, because see, He is ocean of knowledge. But for that, to feel God as a guide, He is ocean of knowledge. He has lot to share. But I think that relationship I have only experienced when I have made an effort to listen to Him every day. Every day He will share His knowledge, and when you take that truth, the intellect gets refined. It's like when you see things with these two eyes, and if there is something that goes in this eye, everything becomes blurred. These physical eyes, even something goes, everything is blurred. And similarly, intellect is our inner eye. So if intellect is not clean and refined, you're very confused in life. So many times you go and ask for advice from somebody because you can't take your own decisions. In the morning you think something, in the evening you think something. There's no clarity of thought, and decision making is one of the most difficult thing. Even today, if you see, a lot of people are not able to make their decisions. So continuous input of knowledge, the truth which you take from God, refines this intellect, and then decision making becomes very easy. It takes like a second. Intellect plays the role of a judge, and judge has to take that decision which is right and what is wrong, and there the intellect is able to decide. But this refinement of the intellect only happens when you take that knowledge, and that is how God becomes a guide, because the role of the guide is to guide you in the path of life, in this journey of life. So you just stop and you connect to God, and you connect to all that information that you've taken, the truth, and immediately you're able to find out what is right and what is wrong.
It's very interesting because you spoke about God providing knowledge every day. And how do we tap into this source of knowledge?
Yeah, this is something because you need to refine this intellect. And that is why at Brahma Kumaris, the day begins with a class of spiritual knowledge. Most of the people are like you, who have work to take care of, responsibilities at home, they have to run their houses, everything. Their day is very, very filled with a lot of responsibilities. But all these people come in the morning to listen to that spiritual class. It's just like how you take a bath in the morning. It's just like how you eat food 3 times, and it's nourishment for the body. It's when you take a shower, you feel fresh. And that is what happens when you go to the center. You just go for like 45 minutes to an hour, and the knowledge that is shared there, the elevated knowledge that you listen every day, it's like food for the mind. And the shower is that shower of love. When you sit in the meditation with God, you take that shower of love, purity and peace. And it's like then that you have this protection shield around you. You go back into the same world which has the same challenges and pressures, same people, nothing I think at the outside changes, but you are strong enough to deal with it. You don't get influenced, you don't get disturbed, rather gradually your energy and vibrations, you're able to bring out a change there. Of course, it's a journey. It takes time. You need to be a little patient. But within a couple of days, you can see that change. It's like practice makes you perfect. So the more you take out time for the self, the more you see that you're uninfluenced, you're not disturbed, you're kind of, you go on with life.
So this information that you take every day, it's pure, it's unadulterated, it gives you power, it's very positive, reaffirming. I'm sure that has a lot of enrichment that it can bring about to the soul.
Yeah, it's very elevated, because what happens when I started listening to the knowledge, the kind of information that we take in through the day, it's very negative in the quality, whether it's news, whether it's what you watch in the television, what you read in your newspapers, even what you talk around, After this, everything is global now, so whatever is happening at one part of the country, you're able to get that news. It's like if something happens negative in one part of the country, the whole world knows about it, and it's the only thing that everybody is talking. And a lot of fear, you see, because if you keep talking about that scenario again and again, for example, there has been an earthquake somewhere, and you have seen there's devastation, there are people suffering. Of course, it is good to be aware. But it is not just awareness. If you see today with media, it's this constant, those images are repeated constantly, and they leave such an impression on your mind because, we take those pictures. It's not just the news. It's not just that we're hearing. We're using all our sense organs. So we see them, we hear them, we talk about them. It leaves so much impact that you feel that nothing has happened with you, but you feel drained. Just listening to all that and thinking about it, you feel that you're becoming disempowered. And then connecting to this source, taking elevated knowledge and connecting to the powerhouse, I kind of felt like it was so refreshing, nourishing, like my battery was getting charged. And then when I would hear the same news, I would not get disempowered, rather I was more positive about it. Then if I would hear about an earthquake or something somewhere, my mind would not get disturbed, and I was able to send those vibrations of love to those people. Otherwise, they are in fear, you also create fear, or there is something happening and you create anger, so you're just contributing negative energy into the world. Here, if you are undisturbed and if you're not disturbed, you can contribute in a very good way. You can send those pure energy and vibrations into the world.
So you're saying that we can connect to God as an ocean of knowledge, as a coach or a guide who provides us a lot of knowledge on a daily basis, as a parent, as a doctor. And I can't help but think that there are a lot of people who are lonely out there. and who have so much to share but nobody to listen to all that they have to talk about. They also have a lot of dark secrets and really need a lot of help and healing. Can they find a friend in God?
Of course, why not? I think, why we love this relationship a lot. The relationship or friendship is one that everybody looks forward to, because I think friend is somebody who accepts you quite a lot, listens to you. The friend will not judge you, will not criticize about you. And God is something like that. You can share your dark secrets with Him. He will not punish you. Rather, He is very, very compassionate. These are all the things that you have to experience. And that is why you see a lot of people, even when they have to confess something, a lot of confession, there's a lot of confession even in religion. So it's easier for them to confess to this higher power because they know His ocean of love, His ocean of compassion. And the moment you kind of share everything with God, you kind of feel light. It's like the burden is off. You don't feel heavy anymore. And that is why, yes, you can talk to a friend, you can share everything. It's a very safe place. You don't have to fear that the friend will share it with somebody else.
So, like any friendship, I think the foundation of creating a relationship is some sort of communication. And how do you communicate then with God?
You have to build a relationship, like you rightly said, it's with any relationship, because one thing that I hear people say a lot is that we're not able to connect to God. It's not that people don't believe in God. It's not that they are not taking out time. In fact, He is this one person, one identity that they take out separate time. And they would even go to a separate place. They would go to a temple, church, mosque, or even if they have a little temple in their house. So they're taking out time, they have a separate place for Him, and still they say that when we sit to remember Him, our mind goes all over and we're not able to remember Him. Because to connect with Him, you need to build a relationship. See, remembrance is something which is very, very natural. Nobody can teach you how to remember somebody. Even when the child is very small, you teach him a lot of things. You teach him how to walk, how to talk, how to eat, how to dance, how to write. You teach him everything. But I don't think anybody ever teaches the child how to remember his mother and father.
You wouldn't,
You wouldn't. It's very, very natural. It's like every day there's this exchange of energy between these two souls, and gradually the relationship is so strong that you're communicating just by looking at each other. Not even at the level of words. Sometimes if there are two friends who are very, very close, they can just look at each other and know what the other one is trying to say. So this is something like that, because God is not a physical being. So the communication with God is not at the physical level. It's not the physical words. It's no language. But the language that you use with God is more the language of love. Even, see, God cannot be just understood at the level of intellect. You need love to experience God. And the more you love Him, the more He wants to love you. It's like this. It's not just we want His love. We are His children and He is waiting for us. And He wants to share His love with us. The ocean, He wants us to come and merge in this ocean. So the more we want, the more He is ready to reciprocate. But the communication here is more at the level of mind and intellect.
So when I am communicating with God, am I supposed to say, God, I love you? Or am I supposed to feel love for Him? What am I supposed to say to Him? Often I find myself just talking. And I'm not sure if the language of communication between God and me is supposed to be words. Or is it supposed to be just, feelings? What is it supposed to be like?
See, even if it's words, before the words you do create a thought. The word is secondary, It's like thought, word, action. So the thought is created, feeling is created, vibrations have already radiated. And then you can put those thoughts into words. But with God, He is not somebody who's living in these 5 elements. He's not in this realm. The God is beyond these 5 elements. Physical bodies are in this realm where the language you require to communicate is this physical language, which is sound.
Sound, yeah.
But if you always remember, they say the God is up above.
Yeah.
And even when you think about him, it's like your eyes just go up because he's beyond these 5 elements. We call it the 6th element, which is this vast dimension of light. There is no noise, no sound, no barriers. It's just beyond time and space. And you have to move from this dimension to that dimension. And you have to use the intellect and mind to move from this dimension to another dimension. Soul is like this tiny rocket. And the moment it's like you can see yourself going from here. You don't really go out. It's not that the soul leaves the body, because if soul leaves the body, it's dead.
Yeah.
But you see it on your screen of the mind. It's like you move from this dimension away from the stars, sun, moon, planets, leaving the universe into that vast dimension of light. Just God the point and you the point. And it's this point, this energy which is the ocean, and you energy sitting side by side. And you then take energy from this source. It's like how sometimes you go and meet a saint, but it's a physical body and a physical body, and you can pick up his vibration that makes you feel very good, you feel purity, you are able to connect to your innate goodness. But here, no physical body. I, the tiny point of light, has to leave this dimension, go there, sit with him, merge in his love, come back and start with my role.
It's as if I need to visualize this journey, that I am this point of light traveling to another realm. Is there some amount of visualization and, of course, concentration that's required to do this?
We need both visualization and concentration, because you see, we don't understand words. It's like even when you have to teach a small child, you can keep saying apple, apple, and he will not understand. So how do you teach him? You will show him an apple. And the next time you show him that apple, the red color thing, he looks at it and he will say apple.
Yeah.
But the words don't make sense to us. Every word we kind of create a picture out of it. And that's how we learn. So for a very long time, if you remember, in our school, we had these very colorful books. Every alphabet that we had to learn was with pictures, and it continued for some time till our intellect kind of matured. And after that, then when people would say something, we would create a picture. If you don't create a picture, if you don't visualize it, then you're not there. And we can do it. We can do it. I can talk to you, you can look at me and nod, but at the same time, it's possible that you can be somewhere else, somewhere out of this room, in your city, in your house. We can just travel with this plane of mind and intellect. So when we are visualizing, we're using both these faculties of mind and intellect. Mind creates a thought and intellect visualizes it. And when they both work together, it's called concentration.
Okay. So mind creates a thought that I am the soul, and visualization helps me look at me, the soul, traveling.
Yeah.
Is that how I visualize this?
Yes. Okay, let's do a little simple visualization. Let's go to the house of a physical body.
Okay.
Because sometimes if you're not, it's like we think we haven't seen this eternal realm, this peace home, silence home, Paramdham, you can call it any name which you would like, because different religions talk about this house, but they give it a different name. Some even call it Nirvana, peace abode, beautiful names for this land. But it's been a long time that we visited this land, but it's very easy for us to visualize when we see our own home of this physical body. So right now, I would like to just for you to visualize in this moment, just travel outside the studio.
Okay.
And
with my eyes open, I can.
with your eyes open,
Okay.
you can do. See,
Okay.
you can do it with your eyes open. You are
Okay.
just traveling
Yeah.
outside this studio, and just see that you take a train back to your city. And then you reach your house, and the moment you ring the bell, your little daughter comes to welcome you and hugs you. And then she takes you inside to her room, and she's showing you her toy, her new toy, her pink duck. And then you give her a hug, and you have brought a chocolate for her. And you feed a piece of chocolate in her mouth, and see her doing the same for you.
Yeah.
And now, I think it's the time to come back. So you, for a moment, just leave her there. Come out of that room, your house. Take a train back. Come back to this city and back to this studio.
Yeah, that was easy and fast.
Could you do that?
Yeah, it was very easy. It was very, very easy to do.
It is easy.
Very easy to
And
do.
you could feel. Could you feel? What could you feel if you would like to share?
I could feel as if I was physically there, though I'm sitting here. I could feel everything. I could see the rooms. I could see her. I could even visualize my journey going by train with the passengers.
And any emotions that you felt? Could you feel
I
anything?
felt happy seeing her. I saw her smile. I saw she was happy seeing me.
See?
So I could feel the emotions.
You could feel the emotions.
Yeah.
So you could see everything and you could feel. Both the things. You were able to see also, you could see home, you could see the room, you could see your daughter, but at the same time you could feel. You could feel her love, you could feel her happiness, you could also feel that she was happy seeing you.
Yeah.
Look, in a minute you could experience so many emotions. That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
That's how you connect to God.
That's how you connect to God. The only thing is, here you already have a relationship with your daughter. There you have to build a relationship. Now you have a relationship with your daughter because you talk to her every day.
Yeah.
You cannot build a relationship with somebody just by knowing them. Knowing them is the first step. Understanding them is the first step. Then it's a very personal and intimate journey with God. It's you and Him, and it's your talks. That is why, it's a little different from a prayer, because sometimes when we use prayer, it could be the same prayer that we do every day. But when it's an intimate relationship, it is not the same conversation every day. It can be any conversation, It's just like how you talk to your father, how you talk to your daughter, how you talk to a beloved. That's the kind of conversation you have with God. And when you keep having a conversation and you keep listening to Him, like I was saying, when you go to a spiritual class, you get all your answers. You talk to Him, He talks back, and then there is this exchange of energy. It's not one-sided. That's one proof when you've connected with God. When you connect with something which is living, it's exchange of energy. When you connect with something which is not living, which is just matter, then there is no exchange of energy. You will still feel something, but that's only your thoughts. If I have somebody, like how sometimes you can just have a conversation with a film star, a poster film star in your room. Yeah. You've seen that, we all as kids would do that. We kind of like somebody, we would put their posters in our room, and we had our own conversation. We built a relationship, but that's not the relationship I'm talking with God, because this is very one-sided. The day you're going to meet them, nothing is going to happen because they still don't know you. But here we're having a conversation with a living entity. And there is this exchange of energy. You say something, he responds, and after a while, like I said, experience is the proof.
I'm very, very eager to know how to build a relationship with God, and we will continue this conversation in our next episode. Thank you for joining us in our studio.
Thank you. Om Shanti.
So friends, I think today's conversation will give you an opportunity to truly build a very special bond with God. And more than a bond, to create a beautiful relationship where you and He are able to connect, communicate, and create a better version of yourself. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, comments, or feedback, do feel free to reach out to us. Take care.